in our defensive staff room, about 5 years ago, we're about in this phase of the year about, talking about our scheme and things that we wanted to be able to do. And we looked up on the board and we had a bunch of tags and words and stuff. And we had a hard time, grouping it and really making sense of the whole thing. So really, to John Harbaugh's credit, he created a vision for where he wanted us to go. But the problem we were facing in designing our pressure package here in Baltimore was, it's kind of like the English language. Over the course of the time, there's been so many great coaches and coordinators, and it's really, this scheme had evolved, over really a 20-year period. And we had a lot of words that kind of meant one thing and didn't really connect to other things. So we wanted to streamline it. So really, our problem that we had was, hey, we got too much memorization here. We have too many types of pressures that really should be grouped together. And, we felt like every week it was just too much memorization on the guys, especially rookies, new guys to the system, that sort of thing. And we felt like it was a lot really path dependent on, on from week to week and the things we had done prior. So in order to move a line, it was like we had to change 3 words and totally reteach the thing. So it's like, well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So how do we create a system that is flexible enough for us to evolve week to week? The guys can learn it and then shoot something that they enjoy learning. We can have some fun with, and really put some pressure on offenses. So let's think about our problem. Let's think about, what do we want instead? So how do we make it likable? Our system is built on concepts, and it's like a slot machine, so we're only really teaching certain things right here. If you can see, I'm going to do the annotate deal. Like in this role right here, there's only so many things in this area of our scheme that we have to teach. Likewise here. So really the first concept that we have to teach our guys is how we set the front, and trying to get my annotate deal. It's how we set the front. So, there's really only about 4 or 5 fronts that we carry in our scheme, and those should be easy to learn, so that's the first thing. The second thing that we start to teach our guys is patterns. So whoever's in the blitz, whether we're sending 1 guy, sending 2 guys, sending even 3 guys off the ball, there's certain patterns that go with, who's in charge of blitzing and that sort of thing. So again, only so many things that you can fit in that wheel, and then the guy should be able to learn. And then the third thing that we would package with that is coverage that go with it. So you can see here, each kind of wheel in the slot machine is one section that guys will learn, and then once you start to lay it together, that's how you create, volume within your defense. And then when you get really good and you kind of get to the graduate level stuff, and the guys have a great feel for it, you can start adding different personnel packages, and then you can add, and then guys within certain personnel packages can be doing different positions within the scheme. So the idea here is you're only teaching a finite amount of things to each player, certain concepts. And then as you build, your scheme, and as you get more complex and then people understand how to do those, certain concepts and certain techniques, now you can start to really build a all-inclusive package where you can change it from week to week. You don't feel like you're reinventing the wheel. So that's the idea of how we built this thing out over the last 4 or 5 years. So